Howdy friends and neighbours, welcome back to another World of Tanks replay with a mighty Jingles. Today we're in the T-44. It's the Russian Tier 8 medium tank. Russian medium tanks. I don't know, after the T-34 I didn't like them. Really didn't like them. The T-34-85 is a piece of crap with low health, no armour and a series of crap guns. The T-43 is a piece of crap with low health, no armour and a series of crap guns, but it is pretty quick. The T-44, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's kind of like the T-55 Tier 9 in that it's not amazingly good at anything, but it's pretty good at a bunch of things. I'll show you what I mean. So, 1300 hit points. Yeah, fair enough. Tier 8 medium, that's a decent little health pool. Help you mitigate some damage, and you're going to need it to mitigate some damage because it's got absolutely crap armour. The hull armour needs to be angled to be effective. The turret armour, 120mm at the front, but in the kind of games this gets into, absolutely everything can penetrate your turret. So again, this is one of those tanks that survives by not being shot. Well, how does it manage to not be shot? Well, it is pretty quick, 51 kph, and it's pretty nimble, 46 degrees traverse speed. Firepower, not bad actually. This thing here, the 100mm LB1, this gun was added a couple of patches ago, and it's a sort of scaled down version of one of the guns on the T-54. Not the best gun on the T-54, obviously. Prior to the T-44 getting this gun, the T-44 was pretty crap, because all you had was exactly the same selection of useless guns that all the other Russian medium tanks got. And then this thing here, that's basically the gun that the IS has. And those guns are underwhelming, or got no business being on a medium tank. This gun, the LB1, has saved the T-44 from obscurity. It's and again, this is kind of the hallmark of the T-44, it's not bad. There's nothing outstanding about any feature of the T-44. It's just not bad in every area. Average rate of fire, average penetration, average damage, average accuracy, average aiming time. Everything about it is average. But there's nothing bad about it at all, except for one thing. The T-44 is an ammo rack on tracks. Modules, you are going to need a wet ammo rack on this tank. It's got ammo rack hit points, hit locations all over it. This area here, big old ammo rack. Just about the entire turret, big old ammo rack. If you're running a T-44, don't argue, just do it. Fit a wet ammo rack, or you will be sorry. Other modules, well, as I say, the gun is just not bad in all respects. That includes the aiming time. So, not the aiming time, sorry, the reload time. So, medium caliber tank gun rammer is, I'd say, pretty essential on this thing. I also found I was having a lot of engine fires on this tank. That might just be because of the way I play it. It might be completely my fault, but I found that it didn't burn nearly as much if I filled the fuel tanks with CO2. Other options? Well, ventilation is always good on any tank. Cyclone filter, that might also be an option instead of the CO2 in the fuel tanks. They both achieve more or less the same thing. Vertical stabilizer, yeah, that would do quite well on this thing, but you've got to balance it against what you're going to have to sacrifice to fit those on it. You have to have a wet hammer rack. The gun rammer, a good choice. Only really leaves you one slot to play around with, and maybe I'm just erring on the side of caution too much here, but I find that the CO2 in the fuel tanks is another wise investment on the T-44. Other people may have different experiences. As for the crew, well, I've got recon on the commander. It has pretty good view range. and obviously if the more view range you have, the more that 2% gives you. So, you know, every little helps. The gunner, snapshot for firing while the turret's rotating. The driver, I've got off-road driving for faster speed off-road, which is always good, and the gunner skills are pretty much universally crap, so I've just went with camouflage for the gunner. So yeah, T-44 is basically a not bad tank. It's hard to love. It doesn't have any outstanding features, but aside from the ammo rack problems, there's nothing bad about it. So let's take it out for a spin on Prokorovka in an assault defend map. And here we are. Now we're defending, and defending on Prokorovka is always a lottery.
Let's get this show on the road.
Sometimes you get a team that just caps the hill and refuses to move off it, and so they lose. Sometimes you get a team who actually have 2 working brain cells to rub together amongst all 15 of them, and they do get their medium tanks and some of their heavies down to defend the 3 choke points, but the other team is better and you lose anyway. And sometimes you do quite well. This is kind of almost one of the second class of game. So we are actually getting people down off the hill to hold those choke points and light up the attackers as they come over for the big guys on the hilltop. So this is a good thing. Unfortunately, the team just isn't very good at doing it. Let's just speed things up a little here because there's not an awful lot happens down at my end of the map for a while. There's a VK4502A and a T-32 at this side, but they don't really make much of an attempt to push over. So I'll speed things up a little. And it's probably harder for the attackers to get over this side than it is the others, because there's not as much cover as there is in the middle, and you're within range of the big guns on the hill a lot more than you are at the north. Now, what's happened so far is that the guys defending the northern choke point have just crumbled. Some of them were complete idiots, and they actually went over into the enemy side of the map, and they got their asses handed to them, because that's what happens when you're stupid.
Looks like that one went right through.
Guys in the middle, well, they're putting up a spirited defence. There's 2 KV4s up there, but the middle is also where the bulk of the attackers are coming over, and if you believe Team Chat, the guy in the Lurva is using gold ammo. Well, maybe not.
Enemy is hit.
Yeah, we managed to track this 4502A, and I'm trying to set his engine on fire.
Looks like that one went right through.
And I'm pretty sure he dies up there. I mean, he's stuck in the open, and yeah. So there's me and the 3001P. You don't have to hold the southern end with much. I mean, one guy could get away with it, because you've got the covering fire from all the guys on the hill. So myself and this 3001P do a pretty good job of holding this end. Speed things up again slightly, because this first half of the game pretty boring. And there's only that T-32 trying to push over, and he's not really trying to push over, he's just popping his turret up and taking pot shots where he can. The fight is all really going on in the middle of the map. But I get kind of bored with all this crap very soon, because it has been a pretty boring game from my point of view. And I decide, screw this,
Enemy armor is damaged.
screw you guys, I'm going home.
That one didn't go through.
And
Ammo hit.
what did I tell you about ammo racks? I take one hit,
Got him.
and if I hadn't had a wet ammo rack fitted, I would have been instantly killed. So now my mediocre loading time is even worse. I damaged ammo rack, and for some reason I didn't have a repair kit on this thing. So I pop back over to the safe side of the tracks and I wait to check out developments, and we're losing 7-9. We've managed to get somebody back up to the north end to hold that northern choke point, and we're still kind of holding them off here, but it's a KV4 on very low health versus a Lover on very low health. And it's pretty much going to be whoever gets the first shot off there, and now we're losing 7-9. So this has just been far too boring a game for me. So I go hunting artillery. Now we're losing 7-10. Now I have a damaged ammo rack, which is seriously affecting my reload speed. I think my reload's up to something like 12 seconds now. And they're starting to cap. Oh, hello, Mr. Hummel. I see you. And the aim time's not too bad on this thing. It's going to take 2 shots to kill a Hummel with this LB1 gun. Now this is the dangerous part. He's reloading. I'm reloading. Somebody is shooting me from the flank. There we go. They've both fired. They've both missed. And I got you. Now here's the thing about defending Prokorovka. In order to win, you either kill all of the enemy tanks, and that ain't gonna happen. We're losing 8-12. So you either kill all of the enemy tanks, or you stop them from capping and you don't die. Now, you don't have to kill them all. You just have to not be capped and stay alive. So here we go. Now, I did mention the T-44 is quite quick. It can do 50 kph. Might even be 51. Anyway, it's quite fast. Oh, by the way, check this out. That's an M10 Wolverine. He has not left. He hasn't moved since the start of the game. Now he decides to start shooting. What use to his team is he over there? Well, anyway, he has me spotted. These guys know I'm coming. Caps up to 76, 77, 78. Oh, hi. Now, there's 28 seconds of the game left. All I have to do is not die. And our artillery is very happy. If you can have a look at chat there. Yes, good job. Flee, run, stay alive. Stay alive for another 6 seconds. I'm having fun with this KV1. I'm just trying to kill him before the timer runs out, but no, never mind. So yeah, that ended up being a fun game after all. I mean, we got consistently outplayed across the board on that match. Their team was just better than our team. And defender and sniper. So yeah, the T-44, I mean, it's not a bad old tank. It's there's nothing wrong with it other than that ammo rack problem. It's a decent performer. It's okay in every respect. Other than the ammo rack, there's absolutely nothing bad about it. And it is quite a good training tank for the way the T-54 works. The T-54 is exactly the same. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not particularly good at any one thing. So that was the T-44 successfully defending Prokorovka. I've been the Mighty Jingles. Hope you enjoyed the video.